Hey guys, another Supernatural episode review. This is for episode 5 of season 13. And this episode actually surprised me. And oddly enough, what Dean says at the end really made me think of the Montreal Canadiens. Anyways, so this episode starts off like a found footage movie, and the two kids that they have really, really bad. Oh, I think it's like wind or the house shifting or stuff. Terrible acting. But they aren't the main focus of the story. Neither is what happens to them the main focus of the story, which actually I thought was quite interesting because this doctor guy who wore old Italian doctor masks for the plague and whatnot, and then they just they kill him really easily, but then there's all these ghosts. And Dean really rash thought, hey, let's kill myself to figure out where all the ghosts are. And it was like, okay, that's like going from like 1 to 1,000 in terms of extreme choices. However, we find out that Dean's actually kind of not really in the mood for living anymore. This is something we've seen like a zillion times from both of the brothers by now. So that's kind of just a recycled sort of aspect. But we found out that Billy is back, and that by having Castiel kill her in the last season, she is now Death. I don't get the logic of that either, but like because when Death is killed, the first Reaper who's killed takes his place. I don't know, that's whatever. Either way though, this is a cool aspect, right? When Reaper was there and Dean, and she's like, "I'm here to guide you." He's like, "Yeah, no. I'm busy." And she's like, "Oh no." And I thought that was hysterical. And what we find out is that there's some prophecy bullshit again, which is, at least that gives me the hope that they actually have a direction for the next maybe last 2-3 seasons, which is super awesome. I'd love to have this show have a direction like it did for the first 5 seasons again. That would be really sweet. And then it just, like I said, the whole emotional bit, like that's something we've seen hundreds of times before. But the only thing was with this whole prophecy thing, all they said is like, you're important, you've got work to do. And that's it. It's like, you couldn't give us anything? You couldn't give us an inkling of something. It's because they don't even know what they're doing. They have no idea how they're going to stretch this into some sort of thing. Maybe they do, but it's so freaking bland. It's just so ill-formulated that they don't really have a full structure of it why they couldn't give any sort of inclination of it, which is both kind of cool that they want to try something, but also horrifying that they don't know. So we'll see how that works out. But I did like how the episode changed its direction halfway through. It went from a stereotypical episode to a interesting episodes of sorts, and the banter between the brothers, and I don't know, the whole dialogue between Sam and Dean felt very forced, especially at the end where Dean just kind of rubs off. He's like, "Oh, I'm not okay." And it's like, oh. It wouldn't be bad if we hadn't seen this before. Several times. But in the end, I still liked how they took what looked like it was going to be a really boring, lame episode, and they actually twisted it on its head. They made some interesting ideas of what they might do, and hopefully they do something with it that'll be good for us all. But in the end, I'm not going to give this episode a pass, but just because of how vague and now just repetitive a lot of the stuff was in this episode. So in the end, I'm going to give my rating for episode 5 of Supernatural season 13 a 4 out of 7. I like the idea that they have something that they say is going to happen, but the fact that they have absolutely, all they could say is you're needed and you have work to do. Like, that's it. That tells you that they barely have any idea of what they're going to do. At least at the time when they filmed that episode. They had no fucking clue what they're going to do for the remainder of this show. But the joke I made at the beginning of the episode talking about about the Montreal Canadiens, Dean says, "I just need to win, man. I just need to win." That is exactly what's happening to the Montreal Canadiens. Last time I checked, they were the second worst team in the entire NHL, which sucks considering where we used to be. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. We'll see what happens. We'll see what this big prophecy is, but we'll see. Hopefully it actually does come out to something worthwhile. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll see you guys next time.